How do you feel about me trying to replace you in the podcast?
It's been a long time coming.
I'm doing my best, but sadly,
Yeah,
I'm
you've been
becoming
trying
more.
to you've been trying to replace me in your life for 20 years.
Yeah,
It has not worked.
I'm afraid that I might be equally part of the problem.
You're gonna do all these podcasts and find out it was you the whole time.
Just like The Sixth Sense. It's going to be an
Yeah,
M. Night
exactly.
Shyamalan twist to my life.
Taylor and Alan talking about movies. They may be best friends, but they always disagree. Taylor and Alan, I seen that.
You got a movie?
I do. Welcome to our podcast. Um, basically, the movie I have selected, it's a good one. So tough because there's almost no trivia on this movie. There's like 5 pieces of trivia.
Uh-huh.
None of them are good whatsoever. And pretty sure you already know what movie I'm going to do since we talked about it in the last podcast.
Yeah, Green.
The
Anne
Big
of,
Green.
the Big Green. That's my guess.
Anne of Green. The Big Anne of Green Gables.
Have
You seen this movie?
I know. Like I said the last time, I have no idea what this is.
So it's a soccer movie with Steve Guttenberg where he teaches a bunch of kids how to play soccer. Basically, this film falls into the kids sports trilogy trifecta of my childhood, and of all different sports, being The Sandlot for baseball, this movie for soccer, and then Little Giants for football. They even use a lot of the same characters in all these movies.
Oh, I have seen this.
Yeah, it was like 90s something,
Yeah.
mid 90s.
I don't remember it very well. Clearly.
Basically, a brief rundown is there's a school in a small town. They get a new teacher. She takes them outside for PE and decides, hey, let's have a soccer game. No one knows what soccer is. Never heard of it.
Good old
So she decides
America.
that, exactly. She decides to teach them how to play soccer. At the same time, Steve Guttenberg is the town sheriff, and he has a crush on this new teacher. So he decides, hey, I'm also going to pitch in, help teach these kids how to play. They make a team, and somehow they get into some sort of league with like elite kids who I think David Beckham was one of the kids. They go on to play soccer,
Wait,
and
David
so
Beckham was a kid?
that's how good these kids were. It was based on David Beckham's life.
I don't know if you're being serious or not. I'm having a hard time
I'm
following.
not, and it was a poor joke, and
Okay.
let's just move past.
Okay. That's what I should have. That should have been my default setting, but I was just so caught off guard because it sounded accurate.
Well, yeah. So basically, it's a classic movie where the team starts out really bad, and then they get really good, and they go to the championship, and they win. But basically, it's pretty funny. I mean, it's got Ham from The Sandlot. It's got Squints from The Sandlot. It's got Alfalfa from Little Rascals. And, of course, Steve Guttenberg. Who doesn't love Steve Guttenberg?
Is this better or worse than Little Giants?
I want to say better. I haven't seen Little Giants as many times. I've only seen it a few times. This movie I probably saw 20 times as a kid.
I saw Little Giants a lot growing up, and that I have a hard time believing that The Big Green is better than Little Giants.
Are you saying you like Little Giants?
Who doesn't like the Little Giants? What's wrong with you? Why is that even a question?
I like Little Giants because you never like good things.
Whoa. Let's slow down here a little bit. Everything I like is good.
Yeah. This movie is pretty good. I want to say it's on the same level as Little Giants.
The problem is I'm never gonna go and watch this again, so I'm just gonna assume you're wrong.
Yeah, You might be. I don't know. Like I said, it's been a long time. But that leads me to one piece of trivia that I did find on this movie
Okay.
that I think is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Now, maybe you didn't know this, but Steve Guttenberg is a very devout method actor. Did you know this? Like
Sure.
Christian Bale levels of gaining and losing weight for a role.
Uh-huh.
It says Steve Guttenberg. Where'd he go? Hold on. Oh, I missed it. Steve Guttenberg gained over 12 pounds in preparation for his role as Sheriff Tom Palmer. I hear that, I'm like, so he just gained weight.
Yeah, 12
Like,
pounds, you said?
Yeah,
Yeah,
over 12.
that was just an accident.
But
I
want to know, was the director like, look, Steve, we cast you in this role, but we're going to need you to gain a little bit of weight because you're not really coming off as a believable sheriff. And it's not a lot. It's just like 12, 13 pounds max. Can you do this for us? And of course he did. So part of me wants to think he was just like eating a lot at this time. And someone made a comment like, hey, Steve, see you packing on the pounds. And he's like, oh, it's for a role.
Yeah, I'm gaining weight for a role.
It's for the sheriff. It's for the sheriff role.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but it just doesn't seem...
Like, who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't seem that important.
Who cares? It's not important. That's why I feel like it's not real.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe
Like,
the craft service was just really good. And he just gained a little bit of weight during. Maybe that's what the trivia is supposed to be.
It wasn't during. It wasn't in preparation. It was just during.
Yeah.
If you watch the side by sides of the first shot and the ending shot, it's a very different guy.
Well, what are you going to do if this comes on TV?
If this comes on TV, I'll probably watch it because it's been a long time and I just remember liking it a lot. So I would say most likely I will watch it at least to commercial.
Yeah. If if I knew what it was and I remember this conversation, I might watch it long enough to remember it. But
What on earth did you just say?
So if say it comes on TV, right? And then it
Yes.
was like, oh, this is the movie Taylor brought up that I have seen before. I just didn't remember seeing it. I would probably watch it long enough to remember it. Like, oh, yeah, that's what this movie is. But beyond that point, beyond figuring out what it is, I'd probably turn it off.
Interesting.
Well, do you want to move on to I Want to See That?
Yeah, let's move on to our new segment. I want to see that.
It's the second time we've done it, so is it still new?
It's
our new-ish segment.
New-ish segment.
Want to see that.
Dun dun dun. You know what's a movie that I want to see that I haven't yet is I kind of want to see Kong Skull Island.
Oh, really? I heard it was decent. I haven't seen it, no.
Yeah, I heard it was too, so I want to see that.
Do you like King Kong movies? I guess.
I like Donkey Kong.
There you go. It's almost the same thing. I think the next one he's supposed to fight Godzilla.
Oh.
Did you see the new Godzilla movie?
No, I had no interest in that.
Yeah, me either. Even with Bryan Cranston, I was like, when I saw that he was in it, I was like, oh, maybe this will be good. Then I heard that he dies in the first 5 minutes. I was like,
whoa, what? Spoilers.
Did you not know that?
No.
Oh, my bad.
I'll probably watch it eventually. It's just not really high on my list. There's so many other things that I'd rather see.
Yeah. Well, my choice this week is Pulp Fiction. Have you seen Pulp Fiction?
I have seen Pulp Fiction.
This is one...
Have you not seen it?
No, this is one that I just kind of missed and have never been able to sit down and watch it. I need to see that.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Actually, we only watched it maybe a year ago. I saw it. It's...
Because it came out in 94,
good.
So I was 6.
Yeah.
And even though my parents let me watch The Terminator, this one was...
Pulp Fiction was too far?
Yeah, a bit beyond The Terminator.
Yeah, that should be the same for any Quentin Tarantino movie.
Well, they really like Django, but that's mostly because they like to use the N-word.
Oh, well, yes.
None of that was true. I should probably.
I feel like you were about to say I should cut that out,
Yeah.
but you're like, I'm too lazy to cut it out. I'll just retract it instead.
I've never heard my parents use the N-word. Now,
I can
what they
attest
do
to
behind
this.
closed doors, who knows? But in front of me, they've definitely never used it.
So they have that going for them.
Have you heard your parents use racial slurs?
Not that I recall.
Well,
Um,
on that note,
yeah.
if you want
Yeah,
to
that's the way to end.
connect with us, you can reach us on Twitter at ISeenThatPod or me directly at AlanRJR.
Or you can find Taylor Enixon at Taylor Enixon.
That's convenient. Is it spelled the same way?
Spelled the same way.
Spelled how it sounds.
It's spelled exactly how it sounds.
E-H. No, wait. E-E.
B7.
B7. That's weird.
Yeah.
And if you enjoy this podcast, you can go over to Patreon, and if you donate $1 a month, you can get all the episodes a week in advance. And doing so, you get to vote on who has a better choice of films, me or Taylor. I'm going to say that I do, because Taylor's choices are awful. But I don't need to tell you that because you've probably listened to more than just this episode.
And I'm going to say that I do because Alan's choices are Sharknado.
Well, okay, Mr. The Big Green. Let's calm down here a little bit.
Are you trying to say Sharknado's better than the Big Green?
Yeah.
That is the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life.